And we're back. We are struggling with Common Mark Parser and listening to hilariously thug music. Sorry about that. I was so distracted I didn't even realize what was playing. Anyway, I just want to check something quickly because I think I'm just going to reset the overlay because I actually think it's frozen. Which is kind of lame. Gotta say. Okay. Let's try and get this thing sorted out because I really want to get this sorted out. Really? You thought it was really good? Really? How do I get info for it? Because now I've got to try and find out what it was. So there's that. Where will I see what it is? There, it's in that playlist. I'll find out for you. I will find out. It's okay. I know what it is. It is called Skin Contest, featuring JSTJR, and it is by the artist ABSRDST. I'm not going to repeat that, and I have no idea what those words actually mean. But I'm glad you're around to ask these questions. And I'm trying to figure out some code. So I'm going to do that. Although I'm probably going to have to go back to the documentation and to try and figure out what the hang is going on. ABSRDST. Words, songs. Yeah. Oh, no posting links for you. Okay. Parse. Return value expects false. Returning true is that you've successfully passed the thing. Add passed inline to the container with append child. Advance the cursor to the end of the parsed text. Okay, so inline context, append get container, append child, new text of foo, inline context, get cursor, advance to advance by string length line. Woohoo! I finally read the docs. Can you believe it? 20 minutes of messing around with this, and I finally read the docs. There we go. Okay. So it's removed the chapter title. It hasn't removed this this little bit here. And I don't really know what to do about that. I seem to have been able to add this, which is what I wanted to do. And in fact, I can probably add div class. Oh, what am I doing? One day I will type successfully and it will work. Okay, so I could do div add class something, run this again. What I actually want to do is run the renderer. And I'm going to change the render test slightly to output that content. Tests, renderer test, this uses the sample, that's right, and print markup, because I want to see the actual markup before it gets rendered. How did the icon for PHP Storm break? Which icon for PHP? Oh, this one up here. I don't think it's broken. I think it's displaying the system preferred icon for this file, which is PHP files open by default in Atom on my system. So that's, I think, why it's displaying that icon. It's not broken, I don't think. There we go. Okay, So, boo! It has put the textual equivalent of this div here. Unfortunately, it has escaped it, which is not what I want. Abstract inline, get data, extends node. Where is this escaping? Replace children. Sigh. Okay. Node. I'm looking for another node type here. Element text. Element code. Whoa! Let's try that. Whoa, that's not right. That's not right. I'm getting further than I was getting though, which is promising. Strong text, new line emphasis. I don't think any of these are particularly what I want. HTML inline. Is that what I want? Hard to tell. Import class. Run this again. Holy moly. Holy moly. Wow. Wow, wow, wee wow. Wow, wee wow. Okay. The trouble is, it's now wrapping this parent in a paragraph. And that's because of the spacing. If we have a look back here, I can close vendor now, and I can open the sample. If we look at the spacing here, we put that in a thing of its own and render this. We're still going to see the paragraph, of course, because I'm a numpty. Forget what I was saying. Apparently the line spacings don't actually make a difference here. I'm kind of enjoying learning about Common Mark though, because I've never used it for any great amount of time. So I'm kind of enjoying that. But what I have to do is inline context, get container, replace with, new, and then I need a block. So let's go searching in here again. Source, block, element. Do I just make an abstract block with... How do I do this? HTML block. HTML block. HTML block, and this is just blank. Okay. Wow. So okay, it's replacing all of this stuff. It's for some reason it's replacing the textual content of all of these, which is perhaps not ideal. Oh, no ways! Of course. If I replace this and I run this again, I am so confused. I am so confused. What happens if I do that? Nothing. Okay. I think what I need to do is I need to identify this preg match just like I had before, and this will be this and USS rightwards arrow and some amount of space, which are double escape, and capture group of characters A to Z, and escapes dash, and some or more of these. And this is for line, and this goes into matches. If count matches is 0, then return false. Else return true. Let's run this quickly. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, that works. And now if I replace this, it shouldn't do to all of them, but it's going to do to all of them, which is kind of disappointing. Kind of disappointing. And of course that's not going to work because it's not advancing the characters any. So this now gets rid of that character, which is interesting, but it doesn't get rid of the parent element of this. Which is oh wait, type div. No. Again, it's replacing everything. That's so bizarre. That's so bizarre. Get container replace with doesn't seem to. It doesn't seem to. Okay, let's experiment some more with this. Let me just see if the documentation has any more information for me. Cursor, oh, cursor match. That's interesting. Inline context, get container, place child, new link. Oh, append child. And return true. So this advances the cursor and appends a new child. So it adds a new link element with the handle as text content. Huh. Inline context. Get container append child. Okay, I want to append this, but it's still going to wrap this in a paragraph. So how do I avoid that? How indeed? What methods do I have here? Set end line, set start line. Get container prepend child. That's interesting. What happens if I do that instead of append child? No, that doesn't work. Parent append child. So broken. Ah, but here I can say, okay, that's interesting. Okay. Inline is this thing. Container is new HTML element of nothing. Container append child container. What methods do I have here? Set contents. Sure. Set contents inline, and then get parent append child, get container replace with that. Wow, this is super hacky. Also, why is this not working? That's interesting. Error, error, error. Oh, so fail. One day, someday, I will get this to work. What methods do we have on get container again? What's accepts line? Accepts lines. I wish there was like a set contents on this, or a. I'm gonna try to replace children again. Still wraps it in a stupid paragraph and close paragraph. Lame. I'm at the point where I'm going to start doing string replacements to this nasty stuff. Because damn. Damn. Yeah, I'm at the point where I actually want to start doing string replacements. It's that bad. It is that bad. Sorry, this is so terribly boring. Matches 1. Replace children. Fine, that's alright. Get rid of this container. Advance to the end. Run this again. Okay, so now we have paragraph, some curly braces, and a class to string replace. Which is cool, and we have the same over there, and then we should have some kind of global, which is hilarious. Static is open. Does that work? Yeah, sure. If not is open, or if is open, then inline is this with some, let's see, how do we want to do this one? How do we want to do this one? Just like this? Sure. That's so ugly. This is so ugly. But actually quite. I got nothing. I got nothing. Okay. Else. So if is open is false, or we'll just toggle it. That is open. Otherwise, inline is just going to be the opener. So bad. So bad. Unfortunately, that doesn't seem to have saved it. It doesn't seem to have saved it. Is open is true. Is open is false. I may actually just change this to static is open. Because I've got to track, I've got to have some kind of stateful way of saying, have I opened a tag yet? And if I haven't, if I have, then close it. No, still not. This is very frustrating. It's very, because I'm stupid as well. Because I'm just a giant dummy. Okay, so string replace this with an open div where that is the class name, string replace this with a closed div, string replace this with an open div where that is the class name, and get rid of these paragraph tags by virtue of string replacement. That is, I think, what I need to do. Because I am getting no love using sections for this nonsense, and it is very frustrating. So let's go over to the renderer, and let's say rendered is this, return replaced is preg replace, and the pattern I'm looking for is first I'll match both of them, so I'll say p close p And then in here I will say anything that is not anything that is not like that, I guess. Sure. And I'm replacing that with foo. I'm replacing that with none open. I also need to give this a subject, so rendered, and here I'll say rendered again. Okay, and this is the open one because this will match 2 of them in a row. Oh, replaced. There we go. So now when we render this, it's not matching anything because I've done something wrong. What's that about? Do I need to escape these as well? Do I need to, oh, I need to escape those as well. Sorry. What an mess. What an super mess. I'm also the worst person at regular expressions, in case you didn't know. That's not matching anything, which is dispiriting, to say the least. Okay, let's just match open, close, open. Because I am at my wit's end. Section, close, open, open. I'll work the other details out later on. Okay, replaced with open, replaced with close open, and we're not replacing the paragraph because for some reason, here we go. Close open, open. Leftwards. I have this lookup of things that I can use. It's actually pretty useful. I'm just going to try and delimit these in such a way that I can refer to them via regular expressions without having to escape anything. So leftwards, leftwards, leftwards. Rightward, oh no, leftwards. Leftwards. I wish I had like easier keys for this stuff. That would be better. I think that would be better. I am gutted that I have to use string replacement for this nonsense. Absolutely gutted. And I need to trap this. A to Z plus. And I'll use this over here. Like that. And now I have closed div with a class of open and open div with a class of open. So I can go back to section and I can say, okay, this is going to be the match. And this is going to be the match. Woohoo! It should work. No, it doesn't, because oh, because I'm not matching this either. There we go. div class chapter title, close div class chapter title, and I just have to worry about one thing at the end of the document, which is if that section is open. Woohoo! New section. Come on. Oh, I've already got it there. Okay. If section is open, replaced plus a closing div. So horrible, but super hack. I mean, super hack, but I think it'll do. I think it'll do. Why won't that? Oh, dot equals. Wow, my JavaScript is acting up. Does that work? That's no good. Why is that not closing this? Oh. Okay. Has opened, I guess. Is open, or section has opened. Do you see what I'm trying to do though? Do you see what I'm trying to do here? This has opened is false, and has opened static has opened is true. Maybe I can just do this for has opened. Maybe I can just do this for has opened. I don't need to do is opened. So, if I remove all of these sections from here, oh, what am I doing? If I remove all of these sections from here, chapter 1 is out. Now I'm not going to get that printed stuff, but I'm not going to get an extra div down here because none of the sections have been opened. However, if I add this back, I have some section openings. And so when I run this, I see, okay, here a section's opened, here it's closed, here it's opened again, and because it has opened at least one section, I have to render a closing div tag. So I have, in theory, an inline parser which allows me to have these CSS sections here. Now, how do I use that quickly? Quickly. I'm going to do this in 5 minutes because I don't want to go through an extra long stream again. If I go back to my layout file and I render some pages for this, let me see. Page media. I'm going to have a page style for this. So I will say page style of chapter title, and the bottom content is nothing. Okay. And chapter title page is chapter title. Oh. And I'll make this a important. Is that how you do that? I can't remember. CSS from the Stone Ages. And everything else has a counter at the bottom of it. So what does this render for us? If we go to our PDF test and we open this document here, chapter 1, nothing. Some text, page number. I feel so happy. That didn't even take 5 minutes. That didn't even take 5 minutes. Can you believe it? That didn't even take 5 minutes. Okay. Section. We're going to call this break. Sure, why not? Break. Ooh, that's not going to work. Page break. We'll have to call it that. Refactor, rename. Page break. Wow, I didn't mean for you to scan the whole code base, but anyway. Can delete these because I don't need them. You're going to go USS downwards arrows. USS is just the macro key for Alfred that I use to get these things. So, I mean, that's why that's there. And you are going to match the same thing. And the inline that you're going to replace this with is a let's see, this is going to be div, well, yes, div, no, not really, new page, oh you, rightwards, break. Leftwards. I've not had a single drink of water this whole time. It's quite horrible. Go back to our renderer, and now we will replace the break paragraph, because sure, why not, with a div class page break. Oh, not that. Page break. I'll get there eventually. Div. I want to use a div because I want to style that thing quite a way. In fact, I may actually use an HR and change the styling a little bit. Not really sure about that, but I'll work it out. So when we render this, let's go to the renderer test. We have not a break. Pretty lame. Oh, that's because we're not adding the, yeah. Environment, add inline path, because it's kind of breaking things. Let's just comment all of this out, and you are never going to apply. Whoa, what have I done? Like this, never going to apply. It's just going to be this. It's just going to be this nonsense here. Yeah, sure. So when we render this as a PDF, as the final rendering that I'm doing, there we go. I'm not going to do much more than this, but I will recap what we did this session because I'm about to go, and reality is creeping up a little bit. So this was kind of a frustrating session for me. What I did manage to get done is that this page size is custom. I also got page numbers to display, and I got them ignored on certain pages that had sectional breaks, and that is because we introduced some new syntax which we could theoretically customize per project in terms of what these characters are, and then they get passed with an inline parser which replaces this text with a special syntax for denoting openings and closings and more openings. And then, because I couldn't get this working any other way and I was super frustrated, I resigned myself to using string replacement on these. So I replaced that special syntax with divs and the appropriate classes, and with closing divs and the appropriate classes for like more complex statements. And I started doing page break stuff, which is kind of simple to do CSS wise, but again, I've got to refine how I'm doing this common mark stuff. Although I didn't get this working, I am a lot closer to my ideal design goal, which I will recap what we did this session because I'm about to go, and reality is creeping up a little bit. So this was kind of a frustrating session for me. What I did manage to get done is that this page size is custom. I also got page numbers to display, and I got them ignored on certain pages that had sectional breaks, and that is because we introduced some new syntax which we could theoretically customize per project in terms of what these characters are, and then they get passed with an inline parser which replaces this text with a special syntax for denoting openings and closings and more openings. And then, because I couldn't get this working any other way and I was super frustrated, I resigned myself to using string replacement on these. So I replaced that special syntax with divs and the appropriate classes, and with closing divs and the appropriate classes for like more complex statements. And I started doing page break stuff, which is kind of simple to do CSS wise, but again, I've got to refine how I'm doing this common mark stuff. Although I didn't get this working, I am a lot closer to my ideal design goal, which is this beautiful book. Which, by the way, if you don't know HTML and CSS, sorry about the content of the stream, but this is a very good book to learn from by John Duckett. Go to Amazon and you can get it there. Or I think if you search for HTML, CSS, John Duckett, you will find a website about this, where I'm sure you can find links to buy. There we go. Buy. Anyway, this is a very good book. I'm going to carry on working on this stuff over the next few days, and hopefully future streams will be less frustrating. However, I am now going to go. So thank you very much for being here, and thank you for being involved in the stream and asking questions and stuff. It's been awesome having you here, and I hope you have a fantastic morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.